This is an example sheet you'll have on your table. There's a line of symmetry down the middle, just like our worksheet. And it's also divided up into 4 equal parts, starting from the top of the head all the way down to the bottom of our chin. And this is what is going to help us place all the facial features in the correct area. And along the sides, there are little notes that will help you know where to put each facial feature. So be sure that you read those and pay attention, because it'll give you clues about where things need to go. The first thing we need to do is we need to locate the line of symmetry, which is right down the middle of our paper where you see my finger. We're going to fold our paper in half, long ways like a hot dog, along that line of symmetry. Crease it so that this will fold easily, because we're going to be folding this back and forth throughout the project. Open it like a book. Flip your paper over, and you're going to fold along the same line of symmetry again, except this time we're just going the opposite direction. We're doing it backwards. So fold again, make sure you crease, and this way our paper will fold back and forth easily throughout the project. Alright, first we are going to trace over this dotted line. We need to make a nice dark line. This is the edge of our face. And we want both sides of our face to be exactly the same, because again, our faces are symmetrical. So in order to get the exact same line on the opposite side, what we're going to do, we're going to fold our paper over along that crease we just made. And you'll be able to see the line you made through the paper. And what you want to do, you want to scribble very hard right along that line. Scribble, scribble, scribble. And what you're doing is you are transferring the line over to the other side of the paper. You've created what we call a ghost line. And you can go back and trace over that to make it darker. And magically, we have got a very symmetrical face right off the bat. Alright, to find where we place our eyes, we want to look to the left side of our paper, and we want to come down to line number 3 where it says top of eyes. And we want to follow that line across till we get to the line of symmetry. Place your pointer finger next to the line of symmetry and make a dot on the other side of your finger. Then place 2 fingers next to that dot and make a second dot. And now we will have 2 dots on our paper, and that is the width that our eye needs to be. Now this is top of your eye. So you're going to come just underneath that dot. You're going to make a rainbow line that comes up and touches the line and goes to the other dot. And then you're going to do the same thing below until you have what looks like a football shape. Now if you look in the center of your eyes, you have a circle that is colored. That's called our iris. It's the color of our eye. And then inside of that circle, we have our pupil. That's what allows us to see. Our pupil is dark, but there's a little spot of light that we leave because that gives a little bit of reflection and makes our eye look very realistic. Now you cannot see the entire iris. If you look at your neighbor's eyes, your eyelid cuts off the top part where you can't see it. So we're going to do an eyelid just inside, so we can close off that iris. You can erase the part of the iris that gets stuck inside the eyelid. Clean that up a little bit. If you want to add some eyelashes, you could do that. And then our eyebrows are going to start just above the corner of our eye, and it's not a solid line like a rainbow. Our eyebrows are made up of little hairs. So you're going to scratch your pencil across the paper until it gets to the opposite corner. Now we'll transfer our eye to the opposite side by doing the same thing. We'll fold our paper, we'll scribble over where we drew our eye. You should be able to see it through the page. Scribble over your eyebrow, and then open it up, and you'll have that ghost image of your eye, and you can trace back over it with your pencil. To draw our nose, we want to come down to line number 4. It says bottom of nose. Go over to the line of symmetry, and if we look at the example we have on our table, we can see that our nose lines up with the corner of our eye. So if we find the corner of our eye and we drop down, we can make a little dot on line number 4, and that is where our nose needs to start. Now, to make a nose, if you can make a J, and if you can turn that J over to the side and tilt it, you can make a nose. So right there on your dot, make that J that's kind of tilting over or tipping over, and then you're going to make just a little hump to the center of the line of symmetry. Fold your paper, transfer that line, and then you will have a nose that is the correct width for your. Our mouth is located in the very bottom section, the 4th section of our face. So we're going to come down from our nose about halfway between our nose and our chin and make a line. And to find out how wide our mouth is, if we look at our example, we can see that the outside corner of our mouth lines up with our pupil. So we're going to make an imaginary line down till we are right across from where our dot was. We're going to come up just a little so that we have a happy or pleasant look on our face. And we're going to make a line that's not really straight, but kind of curves to that line of symmetry to make the middle line of our lip. The top lip is going to follow that line and then curve over. And then our bottom lip is going to curve down and both touch the line of symmetry. We're going to do that same little magic trick, fold and transfer. And then we can trace over those ghost lines to complete our mouth. Boys, if you want a more masculine looking mouth, all you have to do is just leave the ends open instead of having them touch. You'll still have a top lip and a bottom lip. The edges just won't touch like I just showed you. And sometimes you can have just an indication, just a little dash or two above and below to show a lip. For our ears, a lot of times people think they're way up there, but they're actually down here. They start on line number 3, right next to our eye. We're going to make a little bump just above line 3, and then we're going to curve down and in towards line number 4 until the bottom touches line number 4. You can put a few little lines inside the ear to make it look like yours, and then we're just going to fold and transfer again, so we can get that same ear on the opposite side of our head. So pay attention to where you're placing it between lines 3 and 4. We also need to add a neck, and we can see on our example sheet that our neck lines up with the outside corners of our eye, so we can drop down and draw a line down, gently curves to the bottom of the page, so we can add our neck. Now for our hairline, we're going to add that in so we can see about where our hair needs to be. This is just going to be a guide. Your hairline will be unique to you. You can see the very first line says top of head. We've got to come down to the second line where it says hairline, go to the line of symmetry, and we're just going to make a little arch that goes from the line of symmetry down to line number 3 and down to touch our ear. We'll transfer that hairline, and we'll trace our ghost line. Again, this is just a guide. This is just to let us know where our hair should start. Yours is going to be different based on your actual hairstyle. Now we're going to add some hair, and I've given you lots of different examples that you can look at and study and look in the mirror to see what your hair is like. And hopefully you will find one that reminds you of what yours is like, or obviously you can just create your own. Now, like I said, your hairline is just a guide. Your actual hair is going to be different. I can look in the mirror and know that my hair parts over on this side of my face. So I'm just going to make a line to indicate where my part is. And then my bangs fall kind of down across my forehead, so I'm going to draw what I think my bangs look like. And then I'm going to go up to the top of my head because your hair is not going to just be a scribbly line right around your head. It's going to be an actual shape. So I'm drawing what I think the shape of my hair looks like. I'm going to go back and erase that line we made for our head because we can't see that. Our hair is covering it up. And I'm going to erase the hairline we made because, like I said, that was just a guide. That was just to help me know about where to start placing my hair. Darken these lines up a little bit so I can see better. And then I can start adding in some more lines to make it look like the strands of my hair. Mine's a little wavy, so I'm going to wiggle mine down to the bottom of the page to try to recreate what my hair looks like in real life.